Hey everyone, welcome to Relish the Ryker Down Under, and this little video will be of the next part of the Ryker journey, and that will be finding the Ryker. So we've left the two wheels and now we're going on to finding the Ryker. Also, we're doing a little bit of landscape videoing today because it's a beautiful day. It's winter, it's 25 degrees Celsius, so even though it's dry, it's still very pretty. So we want to show you a little bit of our part of the world as well. So please come along and watch. Thank you. Well, here we are, as I mentioned, we're starting out in Ulmarra, and I'm just leaving my father's old age care home, and we're doing a little run. This is my third edition of my journey, but I'm going to do a little bit of sightseeing on this journey and tell you where we are, as well as talk about coming away from two wheels and the progression to the Ryker. So firstly, this is a little village called Ulmarra. Sorry, it is, I don't know, maybe 20 k's north of Grafton. I have a habit of saying down, even though it's north, because it's downriver from Grafton. Now, I'm filming a little bit of it because there's a...
Hi guys, I just thought I'd butt in and just drop this bit of footage of Ulmarra from above, and we're looking at the Clarence River and we're looking out to the west, Great Dividing Range there in the distance. And as it swings around, we'll go north to Maclean. You can't see it, it's a good few kilometres up or down river, up the hill. And there's the village of Ulmarra. Used to be an old river port long ago. Only way to get goods in and out was the river. Okay, I'll take you back to Wendy.
Sorry, there's an Amazon Prime series coming up in Australia called the Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, and they actually did some filming here in Ulmarra's main street, which I'll be turning into in a few seconds. The Sigourney Weaver is in the Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. Now, I read that there's a part in the mini-series where a girl goes into a library, and I believe that was the library that's here. Now, straight ahead there is the hotel, which will be in the mini-series, but I believe the library, well maybe, I'm not entirely sure, will be that corner shop just there where they have used books. That could possibly be the library. And this, I'll just try and move my head around so that you can see a little bit of the old of the main street, and it's done up rather nicely actually. It's only tiny, small, but it looks a bit heritage. Right, now we're going to head down to Maclean. Tom is with me today. It's probably also worth noting that Ulmarra, I believe, was also used back in the 1980s there was a series, well before paid TV, there was a series called Fields of Fire, and they used to burn the cane. Cane is grown all around down this area, and it was called Fields of Fire because of the burning of the cane. And there was a series, and they also filmed here at Ulmarra. There's some sugar cane there. And I think maybe down at Harwood, maybe in McLean, I couldn't be entirely sure. It's quite a long time ago now. But it's a lovely area, especially when it's a lot greener. Unfortunately, as I have stated in previous videos, it's not too green at the moment, sadly. Okay, we've come off the busy road at the moment. Well, not so busy, but the 100-kilometre, because it's a bit loud to talk when I can only do 90, of course, but it's still a bit loud, a lot of wind noise. So I'll just quickly go through the next part of the journey towards the Ryker. So we finished with my last one on my two-wheel experience, and we all know how that ended if you watched it. I look back now and it's funny. It wasn't funny at the time. So after that all failed, Tom had his bike, and look, I would just go on the back of it every now and then, but by that stage my legs would cramp. We did do a few longer journeys. I remember we went to the Dubbo Zoo from Brisbane. I think we went up north, Hervey Bay area and whatnot, but I found that very challenging on the back. Rain sometimes, but the cramping in the legs, and once again the fear factor. So I was getting that way. It just wasn't really all that enjoyable. So I didn't go on the back so much, but I think, I don't know, travelling around Brisbane one weekend, I think I spotted a trike, and thoughts started entering my head. So it was an Oz trike. So we had the one wheel at the front and the two at the back, and I thought, now that looks pretty comfortable. I'll approach Tom on that one. So I did, and as usual, he was happy to accommodate my thoughts. So what we did is we hired an Oz trike for a weekend, and we had a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that went into the making of an Oz trike for Tom and Wendy. We're just going to pull over here so we can let traffic go past, because we don't want to be going at the big speeds. Just happy to have a nice casual run today, and we ended up with a sports Oz trike. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful bike, beautiful trike. and it had a sports seat for Tom and one higher up at the back for me, and it was so comfortable. Well, we did a lot on that Austrike. We did a journey down from Brisbane down to Victoria, the Great Ocean Road, various places, and on the way back through Sydney. Had a great time. Absolutely loved it. And I did not want to get my licence on the trike. It was too big, too powerful. I had no interest. I was happy on the back. I could put my music on and just enjoy the ride. Anyway, we had the Austrike and for a long time, and when we were 51, we both decided to finish work and travel around Australia, not on the trike. And we thought, well, maybe we could do some work while we're travelling around. So Tom sold all his equipment. I left work, and we had a motorhome, and Tom built a special trailer for the trike, and away we went. And that was great. Where we couldn't take the motorhome, we took the trike. 4 months of fantastic travelling. Unfortunately, after the 4 months, I wasn't quite right with some pain, and I was diagnosed with stage 3 aggressive breast cancer. That actually put a hole in everything. So that was a 9-month journey from the beginning to the end of treatment. So the trike didn't get used very much at all. And we didn't continue our travelling because of my parents. So from Brisbane we came back to New South Wales here to Grafton. We kept the trike, but as time went on, we weren't using it so much. So I don't really know why. I really don't. We were busy. We were busy building our own home. Just things took over, looking after my parents. So in the last year, we sold the trike, and Tom didn't have a motorbike either, so we were happy, you know, going along. But once again, I just happened to see something, and you know, they were the spiders, the Can-Am spiders, and little thoughts were bubbling in my head. So I just happened to say to Tom those little thoughts earlier this year, and I said, I know I was never comfortable on 2 wheels, and I know I didn't have a licence on 3 wheels because the trike was rather big, but I do have an interest in maybe having a go on the Can-Am spiders. Well, Tom was quite happy for me to do that, as usual, and after investigation it was discovered that I was not able to have a Can-Am spider with L plates. But that's when we discovered the Ryker online, and Ryker is LAMS approved, which means you can have L plates with a Ryker. So Tom was on the phone, lots of ringing around, no Ryker or Can-Am dealerships in Grafton or Coffs Harbour, and there was lots of ringing around, even at distances, because it was the case of we could go there, I could drive back home, and Tom could ride the Ryker. Lots of information being given to us backwards and forwards, but then we discovered a dealership by the name of Graham Betts in Armidale, which is about 2 to 2.5 hours west of Grafton. We made some phone calls. Well, Tom made phone calls, a lovely lady called Tara, and they happened to have a Ryker in their shop. So we booked some accommodation and decided to go to Armidale so I could try out the Ryker in an adjacent car park and see if I liked it. It was also the case that if we went there and liked it, it could be put into place virtually the same day or even overnight into the next day, because we were there on a weekend. You could ride it away, no long wait. So we arrived on the Friday afternoon actually, right before they were closing. So we did have a quick look, but they were expecting us on the Saturday. So on the Saturday we went to the dealership and Tom had a long ride on it. Well, not long, but a test ride. I had a little ride around in the car park as best I could, and I discovered that I think I would like to do that, and that's how it all came about. I think we settled on it on the Monday. We stayed in a motel, which was lovely. Armidale is a lovely, lovely place. Cold in the winter, but that's all part of the experience. It wasn't winter when we were there. And the Ryker came home to Grafton on the Monday. Tom rode it, I followed him. And there was much excitement. Of course, I could not ride it. I had to go through getting my L's, and that's where I will take you on the next video. The whole experience of getting L's on a Ryker. And it does involve a little bit of a few phone calls, a booking. It's not like it was way back in the old days, and I'll take you there. So thank you for listening for today. Anything from here on in we'll be viewing where we're at. Now we're just coming into the beautiful little McLean. We do have the drone with us today, and if Tom can get some nice footage, we will try and include that, because it's a lovely place. Now, if we don't get good footage, obviously it won't be included. But I'll keep the camera rolling when I think that, there's nice footage, and basically tell you where we're at. So, thank you. Stop recording.